Can you achieve location freedom without posting any content? Yes, you can. In this video, I'm gonna break down how one of the members inside the core network, James, achieved location freedom in 5 weeks. Literally 5 weeks is crazy works, right? Simply through locking in and creating an online income through online sales. And I'm gonna expose a whole blueprint. Every single thing that he's done A to Z to be able to achieve location freedom without building a personal brand. Let's lock in. Look where I am, man. If you guys want to know exactly how you can achieve location freedom, lock in and follow his blueprint. Let's get it, man. So how do you create an online income without actually building a personal brand? Without further ado, let's get straight into it, man, and see, is this even possible? Can you even create an online income for someone who doesn't want to build a personal brand and doesn't want to go viral and doesn't want to do all these things, right? Let's get into it. First thing I'm going to start off with, you don't need 10,000 followers to be free. Does that make sense? Myself, who's built a personal brand, you do not need 10,000 followers. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to be super famous for you to have location freedom and be free, right? You just need skills, bro. Like real. You literally just need to know certain skills that can allow you to make money using the internet, using the online space without you having to put your face out there. Hi guys, well, you don't need to do none of that shit, right? You just need skills, bro. For real. Personal brand, I'm always going to be vouching for a personal brand, right? Because having a personal brand and building a personal brand for yourself is undeniable leverage and value. There's more pros. The pros outweigh the cons 10 to none, bro. Like, it's just fucking undeniable what a personal brand can do. But it's not the only way. I don't want to always be that guy who's banging on about content. I want to show you a different way that you can make money, can move abroad, can achieve location freedom for yourself without you having to go out there and build a personal brand. So what is the other way? What is another way that you can do it and actually make this work? Well, let's get into it, and I'm going to give you a real life example of one of our members. Meet James. That's my boy James right here. Let's have a little stalk at his IG. This is my fucking boy right here, bro. I've got mad respect for this guy, right? Look at this handsome cunt. All right, this is James, right? Core network member. At the time of me making this video, he's been a part of our network now for about 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks, I'm pretty sure, right? So this is James. Who is he? Family man, standard, all-round top G. Come on, bust us a little smile, bro. Come on, all-round top G, right? Standard, right? What was James's reality? Where did he actually start, and how did his journey kind of begin? So with James's reality was that he left the UK already by himself. He saved up some money, right? Had some savings and thought, you know what? I'm gonna have a crack at it for real this time. I'm gonna move out to Thailand and I'm gonna try and make it work. Right? He left the UK because he actually wanted more for himself. Saved up some money to survive there for a few months without having to rely on income. So he had a bit of a buffer, done it the smart way. He needed a way to make money to stop himself having to go back home to live in his old life, because his old life was the exact same thing and lifestyle that made him save up the money to move abroad in the first place. Who does that actually remind you of? This handsome cunt. Right? Because that's exactly what the fuck I did myself. I literally did the exact same thing step by step. Saved up some money, moved to Thailand, wasn't living off savings for a while before I thought, shit, I'm going to have to go and create a way to actually make for the money to come in rather than relying on the money that I've got. And James obviously felt the same. I've literally been there myself. So this is another reason why I got a lot of respect for my boy James here, because he's literally taking the exact same path and taking the exact same steps that I've wanted to do myself, as a lot of the members have. But shout out James. We're talking about him today. I know what it's like eating Padka Blood Clot Pals, watching the Monzo go down bark by bark, bruv. Right? I know what that lifestyle was like. Me and James have been in that situation where you've just arrived in Thailand, you're fresh, you're living your best life, spending. Check the back balance after 2 days. Fuck, I've spent a couple £100, savings dipped down a little bit, then a bit more. I know what that lifestyle is like because I've literally done that myself. My solution, how did I solve this problem for myself and get out of that trap? Because that's what it actually is, a trap, and James realized this himself. My solution to this problem that I faced was through learning how to monetize my own personal brand, which I did, and also learning online sales at the same time. Because as I've mentioned in previous videos you can see here on this channel, for me to be able to monetize my personal brand, I'm not going to be able to do that effectively if I don't go and learn online sales anyways, right? So I've done both. I've solved both problems for myself. Now James, on the other hand, what the hell did he do? Because I ain't seen him have too many followers, right? What the hell did he go and do? I don't think he went and was reviewing Pad Kapow review, all this type of shit, same shit that I was doing. So James had a problem, right? James didn't want to get a job as a fucking TEFL teacher, and neither did I when I was there, yeah? Making like, you know, £900 a month or some bullshit, teaching basic English to some Thai kindergarten kids, right? Don't want to do that. He didn't want to get a TEFL job as something that is low pay and is not very progressive and allows him to actually scale and increase his income month by month. He didn't also want to be a fucking backpacker, and he didn't want to be sleeping on an overnight train, going to Chiang Mai, for example, and trying to, you know, stay hostel to hostel. If that's what you want to do, fair play, but you clicked on this video because you don't want to be like that. So I didn't, James don't want to be like that either, right? James wanted a shot at making real income, right? To match what he could have made back home in the UK. Because at the end of the day, if you're coming from the UK, America, Canada, wherever it could be, Australia, for example, what's the point of you moving abroad if your income's going to be limited just for you to say you're in some sun? That doesn't make sense. That's regressing in life, bro. That is, right? So James was unsure how to get started because he'd been scrolling through all these courses, these free resources and videos about online businesses, right? But it all felt overwhelming, right? And I spoke to James about this. He had the skills, but he just didn't have any roadmap, and he didn't, by damn sure, have any clear steps on what to take to allow him to get to where he actually wanted to be. So this is exactly the position that James was in, right, when he first started and when he first moved abroad and realized that the problem had occurred. And that's similar to where I was, right? That's similar to me when I was over here doing the same thing, right? Yes, you've moved abroad, tick, you're in some sun, tick, but at the same time, what happens next? When's the income coming in? What am I actually going to do from this point moving forward, right? And that's what really counts. So he applied to join our network. He applied to join the core network, right? And you're probably thinking right now, cool, he did that.
Why?
Why did he do that? The reason why he did that is because James needed a way to create an online income for himself, and he needed to do that shit fast. He had the skills. He was already working in corporate, so he's not a complete wrong'un. Obviously, he's a sound guy. He's got brain cells, right? He knows what he needs to do. He knows that he needs to go and get an online income, right? But he just didn't have the skills, right, to be able to monetize in the online space. He had skills from his corporate job, right? But he didn't have skills to go and make it in the online space. There's a difference. He realized that he didn't have as much time as he wanted, right? He didn't have time. As days goes past, seeing the bank pallets go down, Bart's being spent, Pals are being eaten, he needed a remote income fast, right? So you're feeling behind because he's seeing all these other people, right? Not just in my network, but other people in the online space as well who've managed to crack it and create an online income for themselves. Why can't James get a slice? He wanted a slice and wanted to find a way to create an online income. So therefore he's like, okay, cool, I need to learn. I'm gonna join the network. He wanted to be around killers. It's all good being around and having catch-up calls with your friends from back home, but they don't understand, they don't get it, they don't understand the hunger you need to have to be able to move abroad and create an online income for yourself, right? He needed to be around other killers who are already creating an online income and have actually achieved location freedom for themselves. You hang around 5 people, you're going to become the 6th person. We already know that. That's basic, right? So these are the exact reasons he needed to be in the network, right? He needed to get around others living an actual location freedom lifestyle, right? Because he aspired to have the same freedom for himself to work remotely from abroad, whether it be in Bali, Thailand, Medellin, or wherever, right? Now, I'm pretty sure he's still chilling in Phuket, right? Doing his thing. Shout out that guy. Right? He needed an online income stream that was reliable and trusted. All these people saying, oh yeah, join this, join that. But what does it actually do, bro? Is it real? Our shit inside the network is actually real, tried, proven, and tested, bro. Real results, right? No brand. He didn't have a personal brand. Look at it, right? Shout out his Instagram. We spoke about this already, James, right? He doesn't have a personal brand. Doesn't make any content really. He just has skills. He just wanted this. He just wanted the sales skills, right? That's all he wanted. He's like, listen, I want an online sales role. That's it. So he locked in with us, joined the network, and what did he do? He decided to focus, right? And when I say focus, this is what I really mean, right? Follow one course until successful. What the hell happened here? Follow one course until successful. That is what real focus is. It's not trying to, you know, double down on content and also trying to scale on your online sales career. No, you follow one specific course until that is the course that makes you some amount of success. James's first 14 days. What happened when he was inside the network? So let's actually track, and I've got actual screenshots so we can see and timestamp this shit, right? Because this is real. 21st of March, peep the date. Let's stay on top of this, guys, right? 21st of March. Hi, boys. I'm James. I'm from the UK. Nice to meet everyone. Currently out here in Thailand, looking to get into some remote sales, into some remote work. Look forward to the call in 20 minutes. He literally joined like 20 minutes before our daily group call. Anyways, James decided to join the network on the 21st of March, and let's see what happened every day onwards after that. He joined every single group call because he was in the right mindset to learn, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be joining this network of actual killers and boys who are doing shit. I also need to do shit. And that is what happens when you get applied with pressure, right? Because pressure makes diamonds. He joined every single one of our group calls. He learned online sales from the ground up. So myself, Abhishek, the rest of our team literally taught him every single thing he needs to know about online sales from the ground up, right? He went through a whole Core Elite sales resource, right? He literally applied himself and didn't just have mental masturbation by being like, oh, I've attended a group call today. No, he attended a group call, done his own work on top of that, went above and beyond, was doing sales roleplay with some of the other members inside our network, right? Who are also in roles themselves right now. He actually applied himself. What happened here? Yes, my G, give me a second. Here's my 1 to 3 and 6 months goals. Landing another offer, time management, social media. Can you put a fathom on tile? Of course I can, G. No problem, sir. Right? I sat down with him because I'm seeing this person who's joined my network and is actually on it, is actually willing to do the work and is actually a killer, bro, and has that mindset. I respect people like that. So I sat down with James and we sat down together for an hour, half an hour ever, and we broke down this whole game plan, right? Not gameplay, game plan to build his income and actually help him sustain himself whilst living abroad, because that was our one goal we was focusing on. How can we follow the one course until James is successful in landing an online income so he doesn't have to move back to Thailand? That was my one mission, and that was James's mission as well. I found James wasn't focused on content. James just wanted to learn online sales. Right? And you have to understand that people join our network, some of them are already having their own online business, right? And looking to scale up as a creator or a coach. But in James's case, he just wanted to land an online sales role, right? He just wanted to come in, double down on sales and land himself an online sales role. His first thing was, Ty, I just want to get a role. I just want to get a role. That's what I want to do. And I respect people like that who actually know what it is that they want. So I best know how to facilitate and help them get the results that they want. Our success inside the network is not by luck, it's engineered. We do certain inputs to guarantee and dictate certain outputs. I still got James to join every single personal branding call just to change his beliefs around creating content and actually get him outside of his comfort zone. So James had joined as someone who was taking the first step because it's his first time coming into a network like this, right? He's kind of outgrowing his old friends, and these are people who are not really aligned with his vision of where he wants to go now in, you know, working in an online sales role, becoming an online entrepreneur, which he soon will be, right? So we have to start to build up the foundation of the mindset first, right? Of what it actually takes and what type of person or persona you need to embody and become in order for James to actually achieve things on a physical level. It's all good for James to say, yeah, I'm going to land an online sales role, but if he's not got resilience, if he's not a killer, right? If he's not really about it, he's never going to have success. We built a plan, we built a game plan for James to create income solely through upskilling him in online sales. And our main priority was, let's get James a placement. That's all we do. Let's get James a placement. Let's get James sitting in an online role so he's comfy. Maybe not comfortable, but you get my point. So his first kind of itch has been scratched. James immediately took action based on what he learned from us, right? Because he actually wanted it and he was serious about the things that he said. Had an accountability and he had the pressure on him to make sure he hit his goals. So every single one of the boys inside my network know that I'm Mr. Bad Cop and it's just a role that I've taken and I'm not sorry at all, right? Because I'm telling you, every single one of our boys are not going to want to miss their goals when they got this big scary black guy on their case every single day. Mark Henry up in this bitch, blonde hair, right? They are not going to want to miss their goals, and I'm not going to allow any of my boys to fail because I want them to win as much or even more than they want themselves to win. And that's why we win as a part of the network, right? Because they're not going to fail. They need that accountability. They need that pressure. And that's exactly what they're going to get from being inside the network. That's exactly what James got. So let's actually look. He also felt FOMO from seeing every other member every other day posting in their wins inside the network, inside the wins channel. 2 weeks in the row, this is Kevin, 2 weeks inside the role and already made, what's that, about £550, £500 in commission. Promising start with a promising journey ahead. Let's go champ, let's do 3K minimum by the end of the month. Hard work, good shit, right? James has seen FOMO every single day from the other members inside posting their wins, making money, getting results, and actually making progress towards their goals. So what does that make James want to do? Psychology says, nobody wants to feel left out. Right? Just by James being around other people who are actually winning, right? Doing what you want to do will make you want to win too. Because if James's goal is to get an online sales role and he's seeing other people land roles, or he's seeing people just simply make money here that he has access to, 3K in a day, 5K in a day, cash collected this in a day, what's it going to make him want to do? It's going to make him want to lock in as well and get back to work and stop slacking. Right? It's psychology, it's easy. And this is why we get the best results, because we're literally putting the pressure on when you got me, Mr. Ty Veli Henry, right? Mark Veli, right? Blonde hair Veli, literally pushing the people and holding people accountable to ensuring that they get the results that they want. Success is not guaranteed, it's engineered, and that's where the guarantee comes from, right? If you do the work and put in the actual work, you're gonna get the results that you want. It's easy. And psychology says that if you're feeling left out, right? If you're seeing everybody else win, you're going to want to win too. It's not even hard. So, what happened? What's happening? right? So James joined the network, he got inside, got access to myself, the systems, the knowledge, the education, the access, the accountability, the implementation, every single thing, right? James had it all at his disposal, right? He was eating on a success fucking buffet, bro. Yeah? So what happened next? Let's look at the dates. 31st of March. Just landed my first role with Dylan and Luke. Let's go, boys. 4 people liked it. Let's go, James, man. Smashing it. Thanks, Ty. We winning. And then you got Kevin again. Shout out that guy. Abhishek, like you said, bro. April is a 3K month guarantee. Made 1.1K in commission for March. Aiming to get double base pay for this month and aim for 2K commission. Easy. So not only is, let's cross-reference this timestamp, right? 21st of March, this boy joined, right? That's my fucking boy James right there. 21st of March, James decided to join the network, right? Hi boys, I'm James from the UK. 21st of March, he joined. 31st of March, 10 days, already sitting in his first role. Job placement in 10 days, calm, right? That is the exact same shit that we do right here inside the corporate. Right? And it's exactly why James is winning, because he actually applied himself, and that's why he was able to get quick results, right? Because not only is he seeing other people win every other day, he's also seeing, right, if I apply myself, I'm going to be able to get into the position that I want. And that's exactly why he's in a position that he wanted. 10 days, crazy. Because our values, right? Done is better than perfect. Execution wins. We value action, experimentation, and progress over overthinking and perfectionism. I said to James, fuck how you feel, do the work. And he did the work. And that's where he got the result. Because what else could have happened? Because James, in another reality, in another realm, right, could have still been out there somewhere in Phuket, chilling, eating pad kapows, not in a role, doing his thing, chilling out, right? In another reality, in an alternate reality, James could have kept enjoying Thailand until he just blew his savings and went back home to his old life. Do you know how many people, right? Do you know how many people I met when I was living in Thailand who said the big shebang, yeah, I'm moving abroad and I'm staying out here and da-da-da-da-da, and after 4 months, they've went back home for a little bit to see family. No, you didn't, bro. You went back home to get a job, right? To go and save up some more money so you can come back and blow it in the land of fucking ladyboys, bro, back in Thailand, right? It's just the reality, right? So many people, right, just like what James could have done, could have just kept enjoying Thailand and enjoyed the moment until savings ran out and he had to go back home, right? But he didn't want to do that. Another reality, he could have been like, oh, this online shit is a scam, bro. This is fucking scam. I ain't even gonna answer that, right? He could have said the shit was a scam, and he could have tricked himself out of a position that could have changed his life, as it has changed his life. That's really what could have happened, right? He could have said it's not gonna work for him. Why would you ever want to, and this is aside from James, some people in life don't make sense, because it's like, if I said to you, go talk to that girl across the road, there's certain guys out there who'd be like, oh, I don't think I can win her. Why would you cross yourself? Why would you cancel yourself out from the race before the race has even fucking started? How could you say that you're not going to go and talk to that girl without you actually going to try it first? At least let her reject you. Why are you rejecting yourself? For people who say things and have the mindset that, oh, it won't work for me because, yeah. Why would you actually reject yourself from getting the position that you want? That doesn't make no sense. That is a bitch mindset. It doesn't make no sense. Anyways, James ain't like that because he's strong. He's a real bad man, yeah? James' alternative reality could have been, he could have missed out on this opportunity, right? Because James came at the perfect time for him. He could have missed the opportunity to change his life. And then what would have happened? Months later, when he's back home in the UK, he would have resented himself. And back in the UK by choice, by chance and not choice, should I say. He could have resented himself more in the future for not actually taking on that opportunity. These are things as what this literally could have been his alternate reality. This could have been James. This could have been valid. Right, he could have said this. Oh, I'm gonna just stay in Thailand, and I'll get back to you in 2 months, whatever. Right, back to reality, because that is not James's reality. Right, because he didn't think like that. He didn't think with a lack of mentality and such a small, closed-minded paradigm in life, because he knew that thinking is exactly what got him to his position which he didn't want to be in, hence why he decided to join the network, right? He saw other members flood the wins channel every other day. So this is my other boy, Joe. That's my boy. Shout out that boy Hadani, man. 4th offer secured, this one. 4th offer secured. 4th blood clot offer secured. This one's a big ecom one. SDR, DM setting. Onboarded my first client into a DM setting role next week. Agency community launching in 2 to 3 weeks. Let's fucking go. Greedy. Oh, greedy. Yeah, that's my boy Joe right there, man, because he deserves the results because he's putting in the work. When James is seeing killers like this, right, every other day posting their wins, what's it going to make James want to do, right? What did it do? It reignited James's hunger because he was already on one role. It reignited his hunger because he still wanted more for himself. Even though he could have been satisfied in that one early first role, he still wanted more. So what did he do? There we go. Yes, boys, SDR role landed. Since that point until now, he's had 3 offers in total. So that one I just showed you a minute ago, plus 2 more. Landed 2 more offers since his first one because he's fucking hungry and he deserves every single bit of his success. And I'm so proud of my boy. SDR role landed from someone who, 5.5 weeks ago, didn't really know what to do, doubts, is it gonna work, is it not gonna work? And now look, 3 roles later, you're laughing, right? Now what's he doing? Now working mainly on 1 role as an SDR, killing it, absolutely killing it, right? On a 20K offer. He's literally on a 20K offer right now. Can you imagine that? So he started, right, not wanting to be, right, living off savings, like, where is he? Like this guy, like me, like how I was when I first came out to Thailand, right? Because that's what James was like. That was his old life, right? That's what he was doing before, right? Now what's he doing? Killing it, right? On a 20K offer. Can you imagine that? He's literally working as an SDR on an offer that does 20K. So if he's getting commission on that, are you crazy? Talks cheap. You see what he has to say himself, right? That's that energy that's gonna get him to live like this, bro, and to be like this, bro, right? Killing it. Locked in a 30 role, 2K base plus comms, right? It doesn't even have to be easy. He just had to come in, apply himself and do the work, and that's why he's got the results. 5.5 weeks ago, where was James? Craving a life of freedom, but didn't know how to get there. How many times have we all taken a holiday and said to ourselves, yeah, bro, I really want to live here. And then you come back from the holiday depressed thinking, oh, I want to go back there. But that role that James has been able to land, him joining the network was so he didn't have to not be able to live that. He can sustain that lifestyle he's got for himself now. That life of freedom, he owns that. Right? Because he knows how to do that now for himself. He had no roadmap. Rather than trying to take this 4-hour random bullshit course on YouTube and try and follow his friend's advice and some other TikTok guy, he didn't have any roadmap, bro. He didn't have any clear steps by steps to take, let alone the accountability needed to make sure he actually was going to follow through with it, right? That is where he was 5.5 weeks ago. And his life has literally changed in less than 2 months. Still unsure how to get started. 2 months ago, let's say 8 weeks then. Let's say 8 weeks, 2 months ago, not really sure what to do. Knows he wants to do something, talking to his dad, talking to some friends and people around him thinking, yeah, I'm thinking of doing this, thinking of doing that. Nothing really comes into fruition, right? Because he doesn't know how to actually start and how to start without making a fuck ton of mistakes that would happen when you're trying to do things on your own. It's simple. Didn't want to get a job as a fucking TEFL teacher or something that was just mad low pay and also not progressive, right? Didn't want to just be, I'm going to go to Thailand. 6 months later, he's somewhere in the middle of fuck knows where in Isan, right? Making £750 a month just so he can stay in Thailand, right? What's the point in that? You want freedom. That is not true freedom. The life that James has been able to achieve for himself now is a night and day difference, right? Being on a 20K offer as an SDR, locked in on 1 role. Why? Because he focused again. He followed 1 course until he's successful, right? And he is successful, right? Shout out that guy. And now, what is he?
Yeah. Real bad man.
And this is him now. Still in his 20s, in his early 20s, achieved location freedom for himself, right? So proud of him, man. I'm genuinely like, he's gonna kill it. Achieve location freedom for himself. Makes money online, and now he can travel wherever the fuck he wants. Living life on his own terms. Living life on his own terms is the key. That is what so many young guys dream of doing, being able to be like James, who can live life on their own terms and do what is actually needed to get the results that they want, right? And that's why he got the results that he want, because he did what was needed. He's not a fucking backpacker. Let's cheer for that. Online sales is the fastest path to remote income, right? It is simple. It is not even hard. James literally knew that he needs to do something that's going to get him the results that he wanted. And he knew that being in an online sales path, because he didn't want to build a personal brand, which is fine, right? That is the quickest path to achieving location freedom for himself. And that's exactly why it's taken him less than 6 weeks to change his whole life around. 6 weeks to change his whole life around, bro. Without this online role, he probably would have been stressing again and ready to get a flight back to the UK and go back to a normal life, right? And now he's been able to achieve location freedom and live the life on his own terms simply because of this. Let's see what the big man has to say himself.
Yes, boys, quick one from me. Just a quick testimonial for Thai Abhishek's Core Network. Yeah, man, so I joined not even 5 weeks ago. I joined for the main purpose of doing sales. However, there's personal branding, there's also loads of different sales guys in there. There's a whole variety of people in there, lots of different connections. So, a bit of background on me. I have about 4 to 5 years worth of logistics experience, no sales experience whatsoever. I thought, it's time for a bit of a change now, so I made the leap. My sort of mission at R1 is moving to Thailand and getting a DTV visa, so I want to live here full time. As soon as I got in the network, built a whole load of connections. And then on that first week, like the things started getting rolling, man. I was on 3 offers at one time, which was interesting. So the first offer I landed was a fitness offer. Their package was 2.5k, but you get 15% on that if they sell it. So as you can imagine, once you get a few calls booked, etc., the money starts rolling in there. And then the end of week 3, so that was the first one. End of week 3, I got another one in, and this was a 600k offer on Instagram. And yeah, after about a week, he offered to pay me a base salary. So if you put in the work, you know, the money's definitely there. Again, 600k, the commission was slightly lower, but you can imagine the inbound leads you're getting on that, on a 600k followers account. Yeah, week 4, moving into week 4, so my first fitness offer, his business partner, actually said, oh James, can you hop on my account and do a few bits as well? So I had 3 offers going, and this was a 200k account, 3 offers going in the first 4 weeks. So again, this one was a 2.5k package at 15%. So let's just break those numbers down. 2.5k, you're probably looking nearly 400 quids. So you can imagine, sell a few of those a month and you're in the money, let's put it that way. However, I wanted to keep progressing, so week 5, I actually got a role as an SDR within a bigger company. So for me, I just want to keep progressing. That's where my head's at. This was an SDR role, much bigger company. They're paying a nice hefty base pay of 1.8k plus a commission on top of that. And you've got to bear in mind as well, some of their packages, their larger packages are about 25k. So if you're getting 0.8% on that, and you're bringing in a few of them, you know, on top of your base pay, you can imagine what kind of money you're on there. So 100% recommend the core. You guys, don't be scared to take the risk. I know it's a bit of an investment, but once you get in here, put in the work, you know, make the connections, work with Abhishek and Ty, read up on all the resources. There's a daily calls where you're doing role play, you know, personal branding sessions. It's all in there, guys. Totally recommend it. Take the risk.
Now that is my fucking boy right there. Shout out that guy James. Right? And what's he doing now? You heard what he said. Let me even go back. You heard what he said, right? So like 3 offers in his first 4 weeks. Who's doing that? Right? Who's doing that? What have your last 4 weeks looked like? Sure, it's not been on 3 offers, right? 3 offers in the first 4 weeks is insane, right? And not only did he join the network and apply himself, but he actually took action, right? I'd be a fool to be like, oh, look at me, it's all because of me. It's not, right? Because we already get good results inside the network, but he had the mindset and he was willing to put in the work, and that's why James is doing the things he's doing right now. Shout out to that guy. Right? So proud of him, genuinely, right? Now he's learning to be a closer so he can once again get placed into a closing role to increase his income, right? Because even though he's making income now and he's making money online, job's not finished. And it's never finished. The goal is always to make more money. And we're going to help him do that as well, right? Because he's literally killing it and applying himself, and he wants to be in a way where he can make progressive more and more money. He's literally able to match what he would have made back home working a job 5 days a week in an office in the fucking rain in the UK. And he can do that from Thailand. He can do that from Phuket. He can do that from anywhere in the world, right? He can go to Bali. He can go to Colombia. He can be out here in Brazil with me right now with some Latinas next week if he chooses, right? Simply because he has done the work and applied himself, and we helped him get there in a fraction of the time, right? Rather than being blind and just trying to do a shit ton of things himself. If you want to be the next James, right? Like, it doesn't really get much simpler than this, right? You come in, you do the work. If you want to become the next James and you want to achieve location freedom for yourself, with or without a personal brand, right? Booking a call with my team, check the description, and booking a call just to be like call member James. Yeah, it's simple.